Alright, here's a pretty common invasive plant all through the United States, and this one, like a lot of the others, were shrubs. This one's actually a tree, and probably becomes the biggest invasive tree in the eastern United States, and that is a plant called Tree of Heaven, kind of alluding to the fact that it grows upward heavenly light. And it probably most well known for having huge, this is a small one actually, really, really big, upwards sometimes of 3 feet, long compound leaf. Second thing it's really well known for is its twigs are gigantic. They're actually sometimes larger than your fingers. Probably that's the biggest twig of any plant that we've talked about. And going along with that large twig, when the leaves fall off, it has a really, really large leaf scar. It's probably, thinking finger again, the leaf scar is as large as your fingernails on this thing. So probably biggest leaf scar, and kind of shaped like a coat of arms or a shield shape. Last thing it's probably known for, other than being invasive, of course, is a lot of people, when you break it and you smell the large twig, a lot of people think it smells like peanut butter. I've always thought if that's what peanut butter smells like, I wouldn't eat it. So different people's noses smell differently, but if you have a group of people, probably 30 or 40% of them will say, oh, peanut butter. But either way, it has a very, very strong odor. These are not large ones. They get really, really big. That's another thing that confuses people. Sometimes it has this reputation of, oh, it's a small plant. They can get 3 feet or bigger in diameter, very, very large, and big, 70, 80 foot tall trees. The reason that this thing's invasive is it produces huge quantities of seed. These are the seeds about halfway ripe, and they fly. They're what's called a winged chimera. They look like an airplane propeller. The seed is right in the middle, and they spiral like an airplane propeller. And they can get caught up in the winds and go miles and miles and find themselves, out in the middle of a clear cut where there's no paved roads anywhere near. So it's spreading pretty bad. It can be a very, very tough one to control because it's big and it has a lot of reserves in its root system. So when people cut this, you'll cut one and you'll get 10 or 15 back sprouting from the root system. And so this one, if you really want to get control of it, you've got to use a cutting herbicide combination pretty much, or be prepared to be doing a lot of cutting because it sprouts back very, very fast. From a stump sprout, it can probably grow 5 or more feet in a year growing back up. So you could end up going out there every year to cut, to remove the thing. You can eventually win again, but it's a very, very tough one to control.